And good, let's see, today is Wednesday, isn't it? I want to make sure, yes, I'm right. Something going on with Facebook. I don't know what the deal is, but it is not notifying people of when you go live. And I think this is across the board, so it's not letting people know that you've actually fired up and have begun a broadcast. So if you wouldn't mind, those of you who are watching, share this. Maybe this will make it work. The notification for yesterday's show ended up popping in like at 9 o'clock last night. So it's an internal problem with Facebook. I don't know the answer of why it's doing it, but if you wouldn't mind, if you're watching, share this. It might be able to let other people know that it's on. It has a big effect on who all joins live when that doesn't work correctly. How are you? We're starting out today at 76. We're going to get to 97, warm day, and we'll have a heat index somewhere right around 105 today. It's going to be hot, that's for sure, as we begin this Wednesday morning. Glad you came along. A lot going on in headlines. We'll go over shootings that happened. There's been several of those, one injured. We've had numerous break-ins. It's just one after another. So how much do we put up with? The moment the police catch them, we're unsure. We do hope that there's a break in all of this crime spree that we've been having lately and that some arrests are made and folks can rest easy. This morning, Chris Reed will be joining us a little bit after 8 o'clock. He'll come in and join me and Candace as we begin this day. We'll go over some crime statistics and let him look at a few of the things that are going on. A huge uptick in stolen cars in the area. Are y'all familiar with this? And here's just an example as we pull this up. This was from Eagle Point. I posted this yesterday. Beautiful snow picture. Truck stolen night before last. And all those break-ins to where they were going in the Northeast District, going from car to car, they took this. If I counted right, we've got somewhere between 6 to 8 cars stolen that night around the Meridian area. Even one in Clark County. It was recovered yesterday afternoon. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department found it, but it's just a rash. There's more to this. Is it on a bigger level, being shipped out of town? I'm not sure. A lot of cars are used with other robberies and burglaries. When they go to do something, they'll steal a car to go do that crime in. We're watching all of this, and hopefully we'll have some answers before long to get to the bottom of this, and some arrests will be made. If you haven't had a chance, I'm working to put the audio back on the incident that we had yesterday in North Hills. That was a big wreck. Have y'all seen that yet? That is that happened at in front of Walgreens and Winstead Realty as a car crashed across the road, went through the parking lot there at Walgreens, jumped Highway 493, and then crashed into parked cars. Here's just a picture of what went on there yesterday, right along in there. As you'll see there, that's where that happened, and the video takes you right through that. We just posted that a few moments ago. I'll see if I can't put the audio back on that. Weird how things act, and that's the way technology was doing this morning. But we'll get that. I hope you'll take a look at that this morning and see all of that. Here's how you can find it on Sam Media. As you'll look at this, here's a quick look at this as this came across. And again, the audio is not on here, but as you'll see the smoke pouring up and the car coming, crashing cars, and then jumping across. And the best I understand, that was a medical emergency. No major injuries, thank heavens. I think the young lady was rushed to a hospital. And that was the last we had on that. But that went on in North Hills yesterday, right after lunch. Lamar Embry, how are you today? Good to see you stirring today. And as I said, if you're just joining, we have not seen, I have not gotten a ding that said that it went out yet, notifying people that we are live. So if you would share that so others can find out. Again, we'll go over the arrest reports and watch what goes on. This is a quick look at this. We'll show more of this coming up as Chris Reed comes in this morning, as we pull up video here of what went on there as they go from car to car. You see this? Let's just back this up a second. This is what people do when they rob cars. You see that? They go from neighborhood. There's 3 there, most likely 4 involved, a driver that drops them off into mostly subdivisions, and then they go through every car that's unlocked to see if they can find something, stealing guns, computers, anything of value. And then if they happen to find a car key or if they can hotwire it, they take it with them. If they're selling them or crushing them, parting them out, I'm not sure. Just strictly for other crimes, we're unsure of at this point. But a few things. As I mentioned, there was a shooting yesterday in Meridian. Left one man with a bullet to the stomach. It was said to be a young lady that sped away from the shooting event that happened at 18th Street and 25th Avenue. A bird's eye view. The police parked on the corner there. As we look at this, they were all over this area there. The house would be just straight up from here that was blocked off where the gunfire happened. No word yet on how he's doing, but again, shot in the stomach. Serious thing. I'm afraid that it's going to be a long summer. All of this is not over. We've had it kind of calmed down for a little bit, but it's not over by any means. As we also had reports of gunshot yesterday afternoon. Let me turn that down. I think there's going to be a lot of those happen. As we pull this up, this was the scene of things that went on yesterday. As more gunfire occurred, Frank Berry Courts is where we found an apartment complex. A home was shot into. Glass broken, shell casings found all in the road. Fortunately, and somehow, God looks after us, and no one was hurt on that one. It's a good question how that could happen, be shot into a home and no one hit. Fortunate, I think, is it. We see more and more of this around the areas. It's sad, and we ask our officials who are elected to do more. We need to hear from them. We need to have more done. I think we all agree with that. We want to say happy birthday to someone. This is really a special occasion. As we look to this, Miss Mavis Reese Thrash celebrated her 101st birthday. 101, is it how you say it? She had a big old happy birthday there at Aldersgate. Congratulations to her and everybody that wished her a happy birthday. That's a major milestone for someone to reach that age. We hope she had a wonderful day. Cake and, well, everything you're not supposed to eat on your birthday. I think that's what you're supposed to do. I'm trying to catch up with her with that age there. Earlier this morning, if you're in the area, if you're traveling through Meridian, check your cars, as we got word that, well, we had somebody else doing it once again. In this area here on North Frontage Road, right through here, going from hotel parking lot to parking lot, checking cars. They had someone grabbing door handles trying to take what they could. And again, it was in this area here of North Frontage Road. You can bet your bottom dollar that all through here that was gone through. But if you're in that area, check your car, call police, make sure if you're missing anything to notify them. As we, I think I showed this, but yeah, I did, the truck that was stolen from over at Eagle Point. As we go back, I mentioned about 6 cars were stolen. You know, it's one thing for one car to be stolen, but this is a ring. They know what they're doing, that many cars coming up. Each day, I'm told, and it is so hard to track down of what is and what is not. I believe the Meridian Police Department recovered, and some of these were stolen months ago. I know a Mercedes was recovered yesterday. They stopped somebody, and how you drive around for 2 months with a stolen car, I have no idea, but a car was pulled over. They got somebody driving a stolen Mercedes yesterday that was taken from the North Hills area not long ago. So I think the count that I'd last heard was 3 that were recovered. It had nothing to do with the ones taken yesterday, I don't believe. It's a lot of cars. As we start looking around, the FBI has joined in this. Are you up to date on all of this? As we go to Ole Miss, the student that has been missing, the FBI has joined in this search. It's been going on for over 10 days now. No clues. Only thing that's been found is the student's car, as the FBI joins into this to try to track down where the whereabouts of this young man may be. And we go to Lincoln County, Mississippi for our next story this morning to take a look at what happens. This was a rash of incidents, and it looked to be in a subdivision where it happened. Police were called. Somebody's roaming through my yard. They're into my cars. Another man calls and said, hey, I just had a confrontation with somebody. And then the person went to the wrong home, tried to break in the door. They were taken down with gunfire. The suspect was killed in the attack. Don't know whether in the end the guy was trying to steal or was just off his rocker. We don't know the details of that as the police investigate this. I don't believe the homeowner is going to be charged in this. He was attacked and took him down with a handgun. You would most likely do the same thing for your family. Again, that was Lincoln County is where that happened. The Daily Leader reporting that incident happened. An area of Mississippi is definitely a place that supports the castle law, where you protect your own. People break in, they can be hurt. We see it all too often. Louisville, Mississippi is where we go next. How many folks we got watching from the Louisville area this morning as we go from Louisville to Macon? And I don't know the details. One can only assume the in-between writing that somebody was upset on this. 35-year-old Erica Childress has been arrested. She's been charged with trying to use her car to run over somebody. Oh, it was her boyfriend. Happened on Saturday. She's been arrested. Rump row. I don't know what he done, but she didn't like whatever it was. She's in the jailhouse now. The abortion clinic from Jackson, Mississippi, the big pink building, they officially dropped their lawsuit against the state of Mississippi yesterday, signaling that it has been sold and they're moving out of town. We'll see what happens with that. But at this point, it's been dropped. They have sold all the equipment and, well, not actually sold. They've moved. New Mexico is where they've gone and sold the building. Let me get my facts straight on that. And as of yesterday, dropped the lawsuit. This one, I was shocked on this as we start looking at news stories this morning. I really thought that this was already there. Prison is not a great place to be, number one. If you remember as a school kid sitting in class with no air conditioning, it was miserable. That's the way it's been. 121 years, Parchman, Mississippi, where they send you. It's a rough place to be, has had no air conditioning. They are now installing air conditioning at Parchman University, not university, but prison, and other prisons across the state. It's hot in there. We all know that. They've got part of this done. Maybe 40% of the prison population has it now, as they hope to have all this done by springtime next year. Hot, hot, hot. I really didn't know that the prisons didn't have that. I think all local county jails do, but I guess on a major scale across the state of Mississippi that had not been done. It's coming. So if you're getting ready to go to jail, you'll be cool before long. We hate to see this, and what they're blaming it on, it would have to mean that there was just a thin line of margin to be made. As one of the Mississippi furniture companies that is located in Tupelo that had businesses, other plants, they had these in the North Carolina area, Winston-Salem. They are closing one of their facilities there in North Carolina. Again, they're based out of Mississippi due to the lack of, there was a lot of people that placed orders and then canceled them, leaving them with, I think they said somewhere around over 220 pieces of furniture that was canceled, taking them to where they could not operate anymore. We hate to see that. It looks as though this will be affecting 220 jobs before it's over. That's out of the North Carolina division of a Mississippi-based company. We hate to see that. We were hoping for prosperity. We have not seen that during this administration, have we? As goods get higher, gas gets higher, interest rates, it's a scary feeling out there. Don't forget, election time is coming up. If you don't like the way things are being done, not taking sides, you decide how you want to vote, but most people take their wallet and they weigh it and they go, am I better than I was 4 years ago? And they vote that way. That's normally how elections go, unless it has outside interference. We'll leave it at that. We do see that a Mississippi congressman has COVID now. Benny Thompson has tested positive for COVID-19. That's a bad thing to have. And if you're not aware of this, and because we do get caught up in our own worlds of the daily go back and forth of what we're doing, there is another rash of this everywhere. Be careful. Make sure to wash your hands, because this is traveling throughout our area and heavily here throughout the state of Mississippi and Alabama as well. I keep more and more hearing where each families are wiped out for weeks. Now, it's not as bad, doesn't affect you as bad as the other did, but it puts you in a bad mood there for about a week. Makes it hard to go, low energy. It's not as life-threatening, I don't believe, as the other was. But regardless, there's a lot of people that their health can't take this. So just be on your P's and Q's. Keep washed up there and try not to be in some confined spaces, real tight areas. And I warn you with that as we get ready for the fair. Just make sure your camp is well protected there. We had a rash of that in Neshoba County last year. Not running down the fair at all. I'm just saying heads up as you go out to this. And those that didn't, usually it's not the outdoors, it's where you spend the night. Keep it in mind. Across the state of Mississippi, maybe you've seen one of these. You've been to Jackson. There's reportedly one on I-20 and also one on 49 to where billboards are going up, letting people know they have a choice about pregnancy. It's promoting abortion pills. If you haven't seen that, you probably will, and I expect the state of Mississippi to have a lot of that over the next few weeks as the law goes into effect. You'll see more of that. One thing to keep in mind as we look at our forecast, and we'll go deeper into this here in just a little bit. I wanted to show this. Daily Mail posted this this morning. Of whatever you do for a living, you're not beyond being hit by heat exhaustion. It can happen as quick as the blink of an eye. You can be hit with this and come down sick, fall out. I've been around one person that I witnessed do this years back. But let me show you this. This is a UPS guy doing his regular job here. See that video there? It'll start back over here in just a second. He'll come up to the home, and then he's just going to fall out on the front porch or something. There he goes. That's how bad heat is and how fast it can affect you. Again, that's Daily Mail if you want to read the whole story there and watch that complete video. If you weed eat, make sure that you do this early in the morning. We're going to see it about 103 to 105 here in Mississippi and Alabama today. The western part of the state will see even worse than this. We'll look at the map here in just a little bit. We're looking at 110 in areas of the state of Mississippi today. Beyond hot, your body just can't take it. No matter how big old boy you are, as they say. We want you safe and be with your family there. I'm sure that you've seen this if you've watched television somewhere. You know the ad to where you see the cars come on where you can buy it and they deliver it to your house. It's kind of like a vending machine where you pick a car. Illinois says, well, you can't sell cars in our state anymore. Why, you ask? I'm sure you did. Well, it's because the people that's buying the cars are not receiving their titles, or at least they're not receiving them in a timely manner. They've been banned from selling cars in the state of Illinois. We'll watch this to see if this gets straightened out. It's not the first time that they've run into issues in the state of Illinois. You buy something, you expect to get the title right then, period. That's the way we're taught, and it's good business sense. We'll see if that survives. I've just never been one that would buy an automobile without driving it or looking at it. That would be, but some people it doesn't, I guess it doesn't bother. I like to touch and feel. I had gone to Williamsville, when was it, a week or so ago to look at another hat. Didn't exactly have the one. As she and I stood there and talked, I'm real toothy about cowboy hats. It's just one of those things. I have to touch it. I have to look at it. Does it have the right feel? It's hard to order online on something, waiting to get that perfect hat. That's just me, but not everybody does that. Some products it doesn't matter, but there's other products that you come accustomed to, and it's just like a brand new car. They may look the same, but, well, they feel different sometimes. That's enough of my soapbox on that. As we look around, a mother is blasting, and you can really understand how she feels. A gentleman was robbed. He takes off after the robber. You can visualize this in your head. You're at I think he was at ATM machine. He's robbed at gunpoint. Well, the robber takes off. He pulls out his gun, chases the bad guy, fires at him. The only problem was when he was shooting at him, he wasn't looking at what he was shooting. The round from his gun struck a little girl that was in a car, and it killed her. The grand jury did not prosecute the man. The mother is upset beyond. She felt that he should have. That would be a very, very tough one there. A poor little girl lost her life. You understand that he was robbed. Glad I was not put in that situation. That would be tough to serve on a grand jury that had to make that decision. You almost feel that no matter what you do, it would be the wrong answer, wouldn't it? That's a tough one there. We look to Maryland. You all paid attention to what's going on in politics as we all head back to the polls right now. They're doing a lot of runoffs to get ready for the election in the fall as we get to November. Trump backed a guy for governor. He won last night. But the Democrats are so sure that they're going to beat him, they even ran ads for him against his opponent. Do they know something we don't? Or is Trump right that this guy's going to win? That's in Maryland. We'll watch it and see what becomes of it, but I haven't heard of that much to where you're your other party runs ads for you so that you can beat the other one because they feel that you're more beatable. Huh. We'll watch that. Again, that's the governor's race in Maryland is where all that is going on. Do you remember the young lady in New York City? It is so hard to get into the mind of someone that I'm going to call it mentally deranged. I don't see how you could be anything but this. Or maybe it's just flat out meanness. New York City, that event planner, she's a 26-year-old girl. She's in front of a train. Well, actually, it was a staircase. 87-year-old woman, she pushed her down. She died. This young lady is facing 25 years in prison if convicted. What goes through the mind of somebody want to hurt somebody like that? We've seen this all around New York, not so much in areas of Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana, but larger cities to where the population, to where they have a lot of public transportation, those areas where people are waiting to travel back and forth. We don't have so much of that in our areas. But they'll just be waiting, and somebody comes up and either pushes them in front of a train down staircases. Just mean. And we've seen the elderly making their way. Do you remember that, where we watched that, to where that elderly lady was walking down the sidewalk? I believe it was New York City. And the two security guards inside a business stood there and watched the woman being attacked. Done nothing to help her. It worries me, and I'm sure it does you as well. We'll see what happens to this event planner. It needs to be an example set on this. I can't guarantee that there will be. She rejected a 15-year prison sentence, a plea deal, to where she would serve 15 years. She's rejected that. She faces 25 years in prison now as she heads to court to meet the jurors. I don't know what will happen, but she deserves even worse. A lady lost her life for no reason, for plain out meanness. That's the way I'll word it. We got so much more to come. We're going to tell you all about the weather and just how hot it's going to be, what you can expect today. Don't rush off. We've got all that for you next here. The Scotty Ray Report. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is having a 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. Absolutely no sales tax on used firearms. 25% off all gun cleaning and gun care accessories. And a free box of ammo with every purchase of a new Glock pistol. 50% off all pawn electronics. 50% off on pawn tools. 25% off on all jewelry. Huge markdowns throughout the store. It's the Rockhouse 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. 5430 Highway 19 North. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054. Meridian Honda radar shows us, look at the heat wave that is upon us. Now, this west side of Mississippi is worse than the east central side and all the way through the Mississippi Delta up past Tupelo. But that western side of the Delta down to Vicksburg, extremely hot. And that's going to go all the way back to Dallas, Austin, Abilene, San Angelo, and as far north as Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look at that. Way over to Jackson, Tennessee. That area right there is beyond hot. We got portions of it in the state of Mississippi. We are showing some showers around Athens, Augustus, even a few showers down at the end of Mississippi there at the coast. Biloxi, there at Highway 90, getting a few showers this morning there off the coast of Gulfport. We got a lot of showers there at Foley, Gulf Shores, Alabama this morning, getting wet if you're on the coast, enjoying some vacation time. Even over near Fort Walton, a few showers this morning as we look at radar. That's what it is. Now, let's take a look at what we're expecting tomorrow. We'll get back with this and take a look of what the National Weather Service tells us. But tomorrow looks to be some storms moving into the area. Severe weather predicted for tomorrow. Let's turn this on so we can look at this and show you exactly. The Meridian area is going to be included in this as we pull back up radar. All of this Meridian area back to Vicksburg. This is a level 2. Stark Vegas, West Point, you're included in this. Kosciuszko, all the way up here. Louisville, Philadelphia, Quitman, you're involved in this. Across the state of Alabama, that central portion of Alabama cuts across Demopolis, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, all the way to Gadsden, and then on into Georgia and to the Carolinas. A level 2. We'll watch this late in the evening tomorrow. We'll go live street by street to let you know exactly what's going on with the weather. So keep it in mind, we'll be here for you to watch all the weather forecasts to let you know where the concern may be. Let's get deeper into your forecast this morning.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs, record lows, 104 was set back on this date in 2000. 2009, we were set at 59 degrees with a cool temperature there. As we come across and we take a look at the showers today, this is what is expected. 97 in Meridian, but again, we're expecting 105 on the heat index side. Over here at Yazoo, these areas around Vicksburg, right along this line around 55 will be hotter. As we look to Bama, so a few showers to the east there, and Alex City and Auburn, those areas there. 96 expected in Demopolis, 95 in Tuscaloosa. And again, the heat index will be warm there. This is the breakdown, what we've got today. We're at a level 2, and we could see anywhere over 106 to 110 in these areas. They already say 105, but expect it to be warmer. As we look to this area here north of Jackson, that's a level 3, and that could be 111 to 115 today. Let's look at the severe weather here. Here's that outbreak of what we saw there. Late afternoon and tomorrow evening, as we've looked at that, we're going to have damaging wind gusts of 60 to 70, rather. Severe storms are going to be possible any of this area there. As we look at the Bama side, here's the heat index, heat stress, from Hamilton down to Demopolis over to Montgomery. You're included in this heat wave that we've got in Mississippi. As we look across, here's the Bama. And they're expecting this also tomorrow afternoon there, from anywhere from 1 to 9 p.m. is what is expected. Right through there in the central portion of Bama. As we look ahead, this heat wave is not over all the way across the United States back to Texas. 6 to 10 day outlook. Now, here's our 7-day outlook. As we look at the breakdown of this, sunny and hot today, high of 97, and it's going to be gusty, 20 mile an hour gust, not a day to burn. Heat index 105 plus, down to 78 tonight. Now that's warm. 77, 78 for a nighttime low is hot. We'll have gusts tonight, back tomorrow with rain chances at 60% with those severe weather possible into the afternoon hours. That's what we'll get. By Friday, we still have a 60% chance of showers, most likely ending early. We hope so. We'll get some thunderstorms there. We'll watch that forecast. We got thunderstorms overnight, and there is a chance they're moving on into that morning hours there of Friday. By Saturday, it gets a little bit better, down to a 30% chance. Sunday, a 20% chance of showers. And by Monday, it's still slight chances. And we're going to see this as we look at this, these slight chances all the way through the 3rd of August. Temperatures will kind of tap out somewhere between 92 to 95 degrees in that advanced forecast all the way toward the end of the month is what we're looking at. We hope to see some cooler weather, but it's not likely since we're in the middle of August. Those dog days of summer are upon us. We're looking for some October weather, aren't we? We'd love to see that. What's going on with the tropics? Absolutely nothing for the next 5 days. Nothing happening in the Gulf. That's great news. We look to our fishing forecast. It looks like it'll be good today from about 7 a.m. It'll kick off here in just a moment and run through about 9 tonight. As our second major time will be right at dark, 7 o'clock this afternoon. Good fishing time. Hope you can make it out. Enjoy yourself. Well, we'll be coming back live in just about 1 hour from now. Join us. Candace will be here. Chris Reed will join us. We'll talk about a little bit of crime this morning. All happening. And again, if you join us, don't forget to share when we go back, since there's an issue with Facebook and the notifications of going live. I don't know why it's doing that, but there is a major issue happening. We do appreciate you, and we'll see you back in 1 hour from now. Thanks for dropping by and spending some time with us.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: